Hey guys, and welcome to Searching for Ghosts on YouTube. Well, if you're here, I guess you've read the news. So Pete Hill put in a Alford Plea, second degree murder, among other things, and it's going to do 15 years and 6 months, years probation for that, which he'd be 85 at that point. An Alford Plea, that's a weird thing, man. I just learned about them a couple years ago listening to a podcast, and I like to call it the calf rope plea. It's pleading guilty without pleading guilty. It's a distinction without a difference, really, but it basically says that the prosecution possibly has enough to convict me. I'm not admitting guilt. I guess it'd be similar to a no contest. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't even play one on TV. But again, to me, it's a distinction without a difference. It looks better on paper, but it's basically admitting guilt, right? And my social media has been blowing up since this news came out, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to think, how to feel. I know there are, it's not ideal, obviously. It's not, some people would only be satisfied if they strung him up from the yard on the yard arm at the courthouse, you know. And again, I know some family have been upset, and I don't have any. I know what you guys know. The Mirror article says that he's going to lead them to the body. That's part of the deal, you know. And we'll see. I mean, the guy got indicted. He got out in 2018. He got indicted in 2019. Of course, he had COVID and everything. But I mean, the guy's been sitting there with nothing going on for 3 years. My biggest fear was that they were going to let him go, So again, while this isn't ideal, this is a victory. And again, I'm not telling anybody what to think, how to feel. My heart goes out to the family, What I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring some perspective. Let me just give you my perspective. You can take it, you get what you pay for. It doesn't cost you a dime. If you guys have watched the YouTube, if you've watched the introductory video, I go into how this podcast got its name. And sorry, but I'm going to repeat myself. This podcast got its name, Searching for Ghosts, because I was looking into Casey's case before I named it. And back then it was pretty much just looking on topics. But there were so many different things just on there that, and with it being so old, 20 years at the time, I thought it was a lost cause. I might as well be searching for ghosts. That's where the name came from, because of Casey's case. Once I started looking into it being so unsolvable, at least on the surface. Forget about me for a moment. There are people whom I know that you guys don't, that will probably never get credit, okay? Searching for Ghosts was just the first part of this whole deal. It brought it back into the public sphere again. But there are people that you will never hear about behind the scenes that busted their asses to get us to where we are today. Some even put their safety in jeopardy. Okay? And I just hope that one day they'll be able to tell their story, because it'll make me want to pack up the mic and go home. You want to talk about getting stuff done, man. That stuff will never see the light of day. So to say this isn't justice for CAYCE, it may not be in the ideal form that we all want. But if you guys have followed this podcast, if you listen to it from the beginning, look, if you don't believe in God, I can't help you today. Okay? But for believers, I'm sorry. This is a miracle. Okay? If you listen to this podcast, look, it'd been so long and you've got new generations of people. So the amount of people who even still remember the case dwindles year by year. Okay? Because life and death happens. And 80% of the people who did remember the case had Mark Burns still in their mouth. This thing on paper should not have gotten here. It should not. It is a miracle. It had less to do with me or even the people behind the scenes than a higher power. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. That thing was a lost cause. I know. I looked at it from the outside, with my limited information of what I could do to figure this thing out. That was a lost cause. And the fact that it was 20 years unsolved, law enforcement wasn't doing much better than I was. So, that's a miracle, man, from God. I'm sorry. Believe it or not. And I know it's not what we want to happen. We want the guy to, I don't know what we want. We want more than what he got. I know that, right? I'm right there with you. Right there with you. But do you know how miraculous it is to have no body and him serve a damn day? Do you realize how miraculous that is? For him to get 15 years and there's no body. Okay? I don't know what they had on him to make him do the Alford plea. But man, let me tell you, stroke of freaking genius. That with the federal charges, they put him in a box where he had to do that. We're lucky we got 15 years, is what I'm trying to say. And again, I'm not telling anybody how to feel and not to be angry. I get it, man. Believe me, I get it. All right? But I'm just so damn glad we're not talking about Mark Burns still. You know what I mean? Like, let's just take a deep breath and give God the glory. And yes, it could be better, but this is a miracle. Okay? And I appreciate you guys coming to my sermon. Didn't know I was going to throw God at you, did you? But I'm sorry, that's my perspective now. Where I'm at least going to revel in the fact of I'm gonna relish the small win. I'm gonna take it. I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. I'm just so glad we're not talking about Mark Burns. Okay, and according to the Milan Mirror article, there is more coming. I don't think this is it, guys. Okay. Like I said, he sat there after being indicted for 3 years. We're kind of in a pattern. We kind of see it, right? It's a snail's pace, right? This is one step. Hang tight and pray and hope that more is coming, right? And then we'll get the justice. But she didn't get justice, whatever, man. You can think that, whatever. And it may not be complete and perfect, but we're not in a perfect world. And it's 26 years later, and there's a guy in prison for this now. Amen. Thanks, guys.